kembali lagi bersama Yugo85 Gaming di Yugo85 Channel. Kali ini kita kembali bermain Death Stranding yo. Dan sebelum kita mulai, jangan lupa buat teman-teman yang belum subscribe, tolong di subscribe ya. Dan juga like, comment, dan share video ini untuk membantu mendukung perkembangan channel ini. Biar saya juga lebih semangat gitu loh, bikin konten-konten gameplay yang baru lagi. Oke teman-teman, kita kemarin sudah mengalahkan Hicks ya. Kali ini sebentar kita cek email dulu ya. Setelah kita mengalahkan Hicks, kita disuruh balik lagi ke beach. Karena di sana muncul Clifford Unger teman-teman, yang menyandera itu Emily dan juga si siapa? Die Hardman teman-teman. Ini bisa di pause ya kalau mau membaca emailnya. Ngomong-ngomong ini ada sedikit gangguan ya, tuh layarnya. Ini layarnya kayak ada glitch gitu ya, dan juga ini listriknya juga kadang-kadang redup gitu, itu efek ini ya. Gak stabil kayak networknya ya teman-teman. Oke, cutscene flashback.
One of a kind. A baby candidate. Either that or a sacrifice.
Ini si Die Hardman ya. Oh, ternyata Die Hardman anak buahnya ini ya, Death Stranding.
A bridge.
Waduh, ini Die Hardman episode 10 teman-teman. Oh, ini yang kita mau nyebrang ke ini ya, ke X-Not City ya. Oke. Mantap, 10.000 like. Oke, kita naik truk saja ya. Karena kita banyak bawa ini ya, bawa material ya kan. Lebih enak bawa truk, walaupun gitu maksa ya, intinya maksa kita lewat pegunungan, kita naik truk itu maksa sekali teman-teman. Tapi kita coba aja, nggak ada salahnya. Legend man, material lumayan buat bangun jalan.
And wanted to share my thoughts.
Ini di tengah-tengah perjalanan kadang dihubungi sama ini ya, dihubungi sama Batman ya. Dia menginfokan hasil penelitian dia dan penyelidikan dia.
After he left the service, he somehow became involved in the early BB experiments. However, he died before they ended. Now, while the circumstances surrounding his death are not entirely clear, I'm beginning to suspect that these battlefields of his are at least partially sustained by his enduring emotional attachments.
Saking dia mati penasaran ya, jadi dia
resentment, regret. I'm pretty sure
tekad
it's got
kuatnya
something to do with
jadi
the
bisa
BB
bikin beach
experiments.
yang kayak perang-perang
That
gitu
much
men.
seems clear given his repeated attempts to steal loot. Cliff seems to be driven by a compulsion to reclaim our BB, as if that will make him whole again.
Hantu penasaran ya,
A
ini
compulsion
mah
so powerful
ambil
that he was
BB
not
teman-teman.
only able to drag himself from the depths of hell, but bring a piece of that hell along with him. One thing's for sure, he's nothing like a BT. We need to know the whole story about his death and his connection to the BB experiments. I'll keep digging and let you know what I find, Sam.
Oke. Lanjut lagi melewati pegunungan bersalju ya teman-teman.
You're not going to believe what I
Ini
found.
didapat
It's about the BB
panggilan lagi.
experiments, their true purpose. According to official records, they were continued in secret on the order of President Strand,
Penelitian
supposedly
BB
with
ini
the
rahasia
primary
ya.
objective of developing
Atas
BT
perintah
detectors and preventing
President Strand.
void-outs. Any advancements that could be applied to the fields of chiral communications and beach research were meant to be of purely secondary benefit. But it turns out, that's just a cover story. The truth is, Sam, BBs were originally conceived as catalysts for the operation of the chiral network.
Jadi BB juga
They're integrated into the
Iya,
infrastructure
ikut andil
of
dalam
not cities
chiral
for that
network
very
ternyata.
reason. Every single one you've brought into the fold. It was probably Amelie herself who installed them as she moved west with the first expedition, carrying out her mother's grand plan, making sacrifice after sacrifice on the altar of progress. President Strand told the people what they wanted to hear and did what she thought had to be done. Also, America could be whole again. But I'm starting to wonder if it didn't cost her her soul. The chiral network is our greatest creation, our proudest achievement, and our guiltiest sin. I don't know how to feel about it all. Maybe if we knew more about Cliff and the BB experiments, we'd be better placed to judge. I'll be in touch.
Masih ragu, masih belum pasti juga ya penelitiannya ya. Soal BB dan Cliff tadi. Masih diselidiki lebih lanjut. Dan ini kita mampir di engineer ya, craftman. Ini dapat chip di gudang tua yang nggak pakai. Kemarin kan banyak keramik ya di situ ya. Kita kembali lagi ngambil keramik, ternyata dapat chip ini teman-teman. Kayaknya nih item rahasia ya yang tersebar ya. Kita baru dapat 2. Mungkin aslinya banyak ini.
Thank you for your contribution.
Oke, kita ngambil material-material dulu ya. Buat bangun jalan. Yang penting itu metal sama keramik teman-teman buat bikin jalan tol. Kalau resin itu buat bikin item-item fabricating. Oke, kita ambil saja keramik-keramiknya ya. Keramik sama metal. Kalau chemical nih buat apa ya? Buat bikin barang juga kayaknya. Special alloy buat bangun dari PCC level 2, bangun-bangun infrastruktur. Oke, kita langsung masukin ke dalam truk, dan ini kita ada jalan yang dekat sama craftman, kita bangun saja ya. Hujan-hujanan teman-teman. So, perjuangan seorang Sam Porter Bridges. Jadi sepanjang perjalanan menuju balik lagi ke Lake North City, kita ini ya menyempatkan buat bangun-bangun jalan teman-teman. Ini salah satunya. Sebenarnya ada lagi di sana di dekat Mountain North City, kita juga bangun-bangun jalan. Nah, jadi kita harus menyempatkan teman-teman. Ini grinding di game ini ya, ini bangun jalan buat meningkatin like sih. Gak ada RP apa-apa, cuma ya kepuasan lah dapat like banyak gitu loh. Ini kita lanjut balik ke Lake North City ya teman-teman.
I see you're coming up on Lake Knot. Stay strong. We're all rooting for you to finish the job and come home safe. By the way, I've made more progress in a certain investigation.
Bagus, ayo.
It seems that Clifford Unger willingly put his own child in the care of the scientists conducting the BB experiments.
Clifford Unger
But he
suka
did
rela
so
ya.
completely unaware of their true intentions.
Anaknya jadi
This
kelinci
is pure
percobaan.
speculation. But I think when Cliff found out about their plans, he attempted to reclaim custody.
Jadi Cliff sudah tahu rencana busuknya, jadi ingin mengambil BB lagi, tapi dia gagal teman-teman.
In which case, he would have every reason to
Langsung
bear
dia mau
a grudge
ditangkap itu
towards
ya,
the
yang kayak di
president,
flashback
the
gitu
woman
ya
who
teman-teman.
allowed it all to happen. Don't you think? But just because President Strand is dead, doesn't mean his hate died with her. No, I think he redirected it towards Bridges. Towards you and
Bridges sudah mati,
and
jadi dia
anyone
mengalihkan
close to the
kebenciannya ke
director.
Emily teman-teman.
And now that hate is driving him to set in motion the last stranding, to bring an end to the world as we know it. Why else would Cliff hold Amelie hostage on the beach? He must know that she's an EE.
Jadi Cliff juga tahu
There's no
kalau
time
Emily
to
ini
lose. You have to save her
extension
and
entity,
the
teman-teman.
director. Though I
Jadi
still
dia
don't
pengen balas
understand
dendamnya
how he
dengan
managed to
ya
travel
Death
to the
Stranding
beach
lagi.
in the
Dia
first place.
dari lewat
There must be
Emily
more to their relationship. I'll
memicu
see
Death
what I can
Stranding lagi.
find.
Ini masih dugaannya si ini ya, dugaannya si Deadman teman-teman. Oke,
It's about the
lanjut,
director.
ada lagi.
So there's no way he
Kontak
could have
dari
made the
Deadman.
jump to Amelie's beach if they didn't share a strong personal connection, right? Well, I looked, and I couldn't see one. The network should have contained something, anything, but there was nothing whatsoever. His entire life prior to his tenure with Bridges has been redacted. His name, his past, everything. There's no telling who he was. Which led me to consider another possibility. What if it isn't the director and Amelie who have a connection, but the director and Clifford Unger? And what if that connection is what facilitated the director's
Iya,
jump to
Cliff
Amelie's
gak
beach?
bisa jump ke beach
If
ke
it's
Emily
those
ya, karena
two
gak ada
who
strong
have a
connection.
personal
Tapi
history,
dia bisa jumpnya
then it
karena
might
ada
explain
strong
why
connection
Cliff
dengan
holding
si
the director
Die
hostage
Hardman
as
teman-teman.
well. But even if that were the case, it it doesn't answer the bigger question. How the hell did the two of them end up on Amelie's beach?
Sam, Hartman here. There's something else I'd like you to consider. A guess, albeit an educated one, concerning Cliff's objective. Somehow, with the aid of the chiral network, our individual beaches have begun to coalesce, resulting in the formation of a single massive scene.
Karena
Should
network
this process
tersambung, jadi
continue,
antar
there is a
beach
risk
bisa
that
saling nyambung
BTs will
juga dengan mudahnya,
flood
teman-teman.
into our world, bringing about a Death Stranding on a heretofore unprecedented scale. Now, Clifford Unger's battlefields and my own beach
berbahaya
appear
ya,
to be
karena
unaffected
network
by
nyambung
this
semua nggak
phenomenon,
bahaya. Beach bisa
existing
nyambung juga dengan
entirely in
mudah.
isolation. They do not and have never intersected with others. But what if there were another class of beach, one that exists on a higher plane, that was responsible for setting this process in motion? And what if the beach in question were none other than Amelie's? Cliff may have summoned the director, but I believe his true aim was to seize control of Amelie's beach, to exploit its power over every other beach, and trigger the last stranding. It's the only rational explanation for Cliff's actions,
Balas dendamnya yang
which is
menciptakan
why
Death Stranding
you
lagi
have to stop
Cliffnya.
him.
If Hartman's right, then we're in serious trouble. Using the chiral network in Amelie's beach to trigger the last stranding? That's why Higgs went after Amelie, wasn't it? If it was Cliff who put him up to it. Yeah, it all fits. With the last stranding, he'll finally have his revenge against the world that stole his life and his child. You've got to stop him, Sam. You've got to make the jump to Amelie's beach as soon as possible.
Oke.
Get in and get her back. It's
Motif
our only
Cliff
hope.
balas dendam ya,
If you
dan
can't,
menciptakan Death Stranding.
Then we're all doomed.
Oke. Kita sudah dekat sama Lake North City ya teman-teman. Dan di sana ada badai. Supercell. Bener teman-teman, Supercell lah. Kita terlempar lagi dalam perang dunia ini. Supercell lagi nih. Itu ikan pausnya apa? Coba terbang-terbang, aduh. Sam coba menjauh ya dari Supercell, tapi it's too late. Sudah terlambat teman-teman. Dan ini flashback. Oh, sudah mau tewas nih si Cliffnya.
I found out I was gonna be a father. I was so scared. Scared of what it would mean. I had to be there for you. And your mom. No matter what. I couldn't just go off and get myself killed anymore. Couldn't leave you all alone. Couldn't. I had it all wrong. All wrong. Being a father didn't make me scared. It made me brave. Sorry it took me so long. Don't make the same mistake. Be yourself. Be free.
Captain, I need you to hand it over.
Shoot him, John. Shoot him!
Bridget Strand jahat banget ya.
Shoot him!
Gimana kelanjutannya? Udah penasaran nih. Wah, dia pakai topeng Die Hard Man. Unger, waduh hebat ya, sampai 3 episode ada dia terus. Kemarin episode Unger, habis itu episode Clifford, sekarang episode Clifford Unger teman-teman. 3 episode buat dia. Ini memang bos terakhirnya si Cliffordnya. Di hutan ya. Biasa kita ambil barang-barang, tapi kita nggak ada persiapan teman-teman. Ini barang-barang ini melawan mule semua, ini non lethal. Gak mempan lah non lethal buat melawan Clifford Unger. Gak mati-mati ya, cuma pingsan nggak mungkin lah. Jadi ya terpaksa kita mengutin senjata-senjata yang ada di sini ya, walaupun levelnya level rendah biasanya kan, kalau yang disediakan sama stage-nya. Ini kita harus lari-lari teman-teman, jangan sampai kena bom. Kita lari-lari terus, ikuti kemana arahnya si ini. Tapi arahnya ke ini ya, ke sungai ya, sungainya tidak bisa dilewatin. Kemana ayo Bibi, kemana kita pergi Bibi? Beri aku petunjuk. Oh itu ada barang teman-teman, biasanya kalau ada barang itu jalannya di situ teman-teman. Oke kita ikuti saja ya. Nanti BT handgun nggak bisa, lemah, senjata lemah. Langsung kita ikuti jalan saja. Nanti BT handgun lagi. Ambil aja buat jaga-jaga ya teman-teman, satu aja buat jaga-jaga. Kalau nggak dapat senjata lain lagi ya terpaksa kita pakai senjata itu. Ngomong-ngomong ini kayaknya ini deh bukan perang dunia teman-teman, ini perang Vietnam tuh kayaknya. Kalau teman-teman kalau yang tahu ya ini perang apa ya, bisa ditulis di komentar. Kalau menurutku sih kayaknya ini memang perang Vietnam teman-teman. Dilihat dari background yang seperti ini, ada hutan. Oke, kita sudah sampai menuju Clifford Unger teman-teman. Sempatnya ngerokok dulu ya dia ya.
idea, baby.
Daun-daun bambunya berterbangan ya, kena tembakan ya. Nongol pakai non lethal ya, bisa ya ternyata.
Open fire.
Baru sadar juga nih, pakai senjata non lethal. Mungkin non lethalnya tapi pakai pelurunya darah kita ya, jadi dia jadi lethal dan mematikan ya. Sekarang musuhnya kan gitu. Mana? Yang nggak kepake kita buang dulu ya teman-teman. Optimalisasi barang bawaan. Kita roket launcher aja teman-teman. Oke, roket launcher langsung. Kita ikuti saja jejaknya lari kemana ini.
We need reinforcements. Forward.
Baby. Where are you, baby?
Lumayan dapat ini buat sekali ya.
Open fire. Light him up.
Mereka langsung incar teleport Ungernya aja ya. Oh, dia lagi pusing ngejutsu teman-teman. Kabur lagi ya teleport Ungernya.
We need reinforcements. Move. Light him up.
Loh. Dia juga nggak ngeliat kita kayaknya teman-teman. Tadi ngarahin senjatanya ke depan sana tadi.
We need backup.
Mas. Mana tadi ada assault rifle yang pelurunya sisa sedikit tadi mau dibuang nih. Mana tadi nggak ada.
We need
Oh, ini dia. Buang.
reinforcements. Go.
Get my baby. Where are you, baby?
Di sini lebih susah ya teman-teman dari sebelumnya. Karena saya sudah ada mati sekali di sini karena terlalu sibuk lari teman-teman. Harusnya di sini jangan lari teman-teman. Pokoknya apa yang bisa ditembak tembak aja, jangan lari. Kalau kita lari kita malah jadi sasaran empuk musuh teman-teman, malah mati kita. Ya betul, ada mengatakan kan pertahanan terbaik adalah menyerang gitu. Betul, di sini kita terpakai teman-teman. Jadi kuncinya di sini jangan lari, hadapi teman-teman. Kita lari malah mati.
Open fire!
Langsung kita granat launcher, roket launcher saja nih.
Keep your head on it.
Mana dia? Belakang.
I need my baby.
Granat launcher, roket launcher. Yes. Kita dia menghindar teman-teman. Tembak saja. Lagi. Masih hidup. Oh mati dah. Kena ini ya, kena asap. Kena asap darah itu ya, dia mati. Oke selesai. Defeat clear. Oke nice. Cek. This is the end. Apa itu lagunya? Bapaknya Bibi nih.
Baby. We're getting out of here. I promise. Give me back my baby. Are you clear, Unger? Who are you? Are you the father? They told me your name was Sam Porter. But you were Sam Bridges. My bridge to the future. Sam, you bring people together. You're their bridge to the future.
Bukannya kemarin udah diambil ya? Ada lagi ya?
Stand up.
Sam mau menyerahkan bibi ya? Mungkin maksudnya biar nggak penasaran lagi gitu. Arwahnya si Clifford Unger ini. Tuh. Baik ya ternyata ya. Clifford Unger baik. Gitu. Kalau memang baik, kenapa dari kemarin perang dunia 1, perang dunia kedua, sekarang perang Vietnam kita diburu-buru sama dia terus masuk Supercell gitu? Why gitu? Memang baik hati gitu. Di flashbacknya kita simak dulu teman-teman. Oh, jadi Death membantu kabur si Clifford.
I'm sorry. She orders me to do something, I have to do it. I have to. But I served under you first. And your family doesn't deserve this. Any of this. Why are you helping me? If they catch you. Because you saved my life, sir. Again and again.
Jadi dia banyak
When the
berutang
brass
nyawa ya
sent
sama
us into the jaws of hell,
Unger.
it was you that brought us home.
Ternyata Death gak membunuh Clifford ya, bukan dia kayaknya yang membunuh Clifford. Dia membantu Clifford kabur gitu. Jadi dia kemarin minta maafnya apa? Karena nggak bisa menyelamatkan ini istrinya dan anaknya. Gak tahu ya, masih misteri ya ini. Oke, kita sudah bangun dan ini lampunya kedap-kedip ya, ini Chiron networknya ini yang nggak stabil. Mungkin karena kepake sama beach itu kotanya. Kotanya kepake buat mempersatukan beach ya teman-teman. Makanya nggak stabil di sini. Wah, baby.
Sam, are you okay? I reviewed your logs. It looks like you were caught in a supercell and emerged an instant later on the other side of Ground Zero. Not far from Port Knot City.
How'd I wind up here then?
Remember Victor? He found you lying unconscious by the harbor and brought you inside.
Terdamparnya jauh amat ke Port Knot City ya teman-teman, nyebrang laut.
His father. He said, "Give me back my baby."
Impossible. Cliff was born.
He gave me this. Maybe he's trying to tell us something. Something about the BBs, maybe. About how they were made. It didn't feel like he was trying to hurt us. It felt like he just wanted to talk.
But you said you saw him holding the director captive on the beach.
Yeah. They must have some history we don't know about. Them and Bridget.
Funny you should say that. I've got something you should see. Found it in the archives while I was digging around. It's a pre-recorded message from the director labeled, "If I don't come back."
Wah. Rekaman ini ya, rekaman Death Man. kalau Die Hard Man-nya nggak kembali. Wah, jadi kita nonton dulu rekamannya dia, pesan-pesan Die Hard Man ya.
All right. This message is insurance. In case something happens to me. For Bridget's eyes only. And I sure as hell hope that's who's watching. I got a little present from Emily. Said she'd take me to the beach if I wanted. But I'd need this doll to show me the way. It's a trap. It has to be. But I've decided to play along. You've all been playing along too, haven't you? You know this mask hides more than just my face.
Bukan Die Hard Man. Si John.
Well, Emily's a blank slate too. No past, no record she ever existed. She's a ghost. And the thing about ghosts,
Ternyata Die Hard Man nggak jahat ya teman-teman. Malah Emily ini yang kayaknya yang jahat
never
ini.
seen her in the flesh, shook her
Dia
hand,
mencoba menjebak
touched her.
si Die Hard Man supaya masuk ke
The
dalam
original
beach.
team we sent was divided into two groups. Emily was with the first. Mama and Hartman were with the second. They had no direct contact with her.
Yes. Amelie's group was wiped out in Edge North City. Everyone but her. Everyone who could say whether or not she exists.
Bullshit. She's real. We've touched, all right? She and I both.
Well, I've only ever interacted with her hologram.
I'm telling you, I've met her. In person. Lots of times when I was little.
Yes, but on the
Di
beach.
beach. Tuh.
Here's what the president
Jangan
had to
hantu
say
ya,
about
Emily ini.
her daughter.
Dia nggak pernah eksis gitu, nggak pernah ada Emily itu.
There her ka remained, though her ha came to this world. This division of body and soul forced her to spend most of her childhood in the hospital. But though her health was poor, her dooms numbers were off the charts. Her supernatural talents blossomed as she grew older and overcame her limitations. But by the time she was 20, she could travel to and from the beach, body and all. And that's where she started spending all of her time. Now, if you wanted to get in touch with Emily, it was via hologram or nothing. The president insisted on that. I swore an oath to the president and to America. As far as I was concerned, her word was law. So when she said Emily was her daughter and the best candidate to succeed her, I believed it. But when the archives were restored, I couldn't resist testing out my access privileges. And that's how I found out Bridget was diagnosed with uterine cancer in her 20s. And couldn't have
Nah,
children.
Presiden Bridget nggak bisa punya anak, tapi kenapa dia bilang Emily anaknya gitu? Wah,
Doesn't add up,
ini
does it?
misteri nih.
There's no way Emily could be Bridget's
Nah.
biological daughter.
Emily bukan anak
So where'd she
Presiden
come
Bridget.
from?
Jadi dari mana dia berasal? Dia siapa dia? Apakah dia benar-benar
How
nyata
can we
gitu?
be sure that Emily is an extinction entity when we don't even know if Emily is Emily? Hell, for all I know, the EE theory might be bullshit. But if it's not, if she's the cause of the Death Stranding, then I have to accept her invitation.
Ternyata ini
I've loaded my
nasionalismenya
gun
Die Hard
with
Man ini
medical
tidak
rounds.
diragukan lagi ya teman-teman. Sangat besar
Sam's
sekali dia
blood.
cinta pada Amerika teman-teman.
Connects my gun to her, to me, to him, all of us. Which means I should be able to take it with me to the beach.
Nah ini kuncinya teman-teman. Darah
I'm
kita
gonna
ada di
stop what she
pistolnya
started by stopping her.
Die Hard Man. Kita bisa ke sana men.
One last confession. I'm just a man. No powers, nothing special.
Don't have dooms. I can't repatriate like Sam either. Don't know the first thing about dying. I had never tried it. Yeah. I've been to hell. Every single battlefield was hell. But no matter how terrible it got, I never died. Because all I ever did was run from death. Well,
Ternyata baik ya, ternyata
I gotta
baik.
go.
Aduh,
She's
kita
calling
selama
for
ini
me.
mencurigai Die Hardman ya. Sorry deh
Bridges.
Die Hardman.
Don't let me down.
Episode 12, Bridges. Dalam satu episode gameplay kita 3 episode
After
ya.
he recorded this, the director jumped to the beach. Or rather, Amelie summoned him there.
He had a gun to Bridget when I saw him. Then Cliff showed up, took him away.
I thought he went to the beach to confront Amelie.
Yeah, she was there too. She was the one who got me out.
It's so obvious to me now. I can't believe I didn't see it sooner. It was Amelie who...
Oh ya, Emily apa? Waduh.
What happened?
The chiral network dropped out. According to Lakna, it won't be long before it's completely unusable.
So all our hard work was for nothing.
Let me finish what I was saying, Sam.
I'll tell him.
Fragile. You look like shit. You should be resting.
I know. I need to tell you something. I had a little chat with Higgs back on the beach. Didn't
Dia
take
sempat
much to
ngobrol
make
ya.
him talk.
You say why he betrayed you?
He said it was part of her plan.
What?
She was their leader.
Higgs anak buahnya
The town's
Emily.
void-outs, the whole extinction agenda.
Emily
behind it all.
otaknya. Ya salam.
I know you don't want to believe it, but it lines up with what Die Hard Man said. Higgs turned on me after he met Emily. At first, he was looking to expand his territory, and I had a power he could use. At least, that's how he ended up working with me. He was no terrorist. He
Jadi
just
awalnya
wanted to
bukan
return
teroris.
people. But then she shows up with abilities that put mine to shame. Hell, she could even control BTs. So Higgs decides to go with her.
Jadi yang bisa ngontrol BTS sebenarnya Emily.
And that's when she turned him
Bukan
into her
Higgs.
agent of extinction.
Amelie gave Higgs his power.
Yep, she made him her homo demons.
Jadi yang ngasih
What
kekuatan
about Bridget?
ke...
You could tell me what she was doing on the beach? You got an answer for that too?
I know it's a lot to swallow. But Higgs said himself that Amelie is an extinction entity. I looked inside his pod, and there was no BB in there. Take a good look at what was.
Boneka
It's the
ini
same
lagi
doll
ya.
Die Hard Man had.
Ya.
This is their bridge baby. There's this idea that the terrorists brought back BB tech and Bridges was just following suit. It's garbage. Their methods and yours are completely different.
Beda.
Your BB
BB.
links you to the world of the dead. Their doll links them to Amelie and her beach.
Supaya bisa masuk ke beachnya Emily ya, pakai boneka itu.
You know who else
Sama
had
kayak
dolls
Batman.
like this? Cliff. He was carrying them on the battlefields. Cliff, Higgs, the director. All three of them were drawn in and controlled by this extinction
Cliff
entity.
juga kayaknya separuh juga
And who is
dikendalikan
this
Emily ya. Mungkin.
EE really? Is it Bridget? Is it Amelie?
All I can say is that the answers are on the beach. What she wants and why.
Tapi belum jelas ya kemauan
If we
Emily
get to
sebenarnya
the
apa
bottom of
gitu.
that, then
Ternyata
maybe
dia
we
otak
can
semua
still
ini, teman-teman.
avert the last stranding.
You've got to find her, Sam.
Dia telah menipu kita ya.
Whoever she really
Padahal
is.
kita sudah terlanjur cinta.
She's waiting for
Waduh.
you on the beach. Hurry back east.
Oke. Untuk mengetahui jawabannya kita harus segera ke timur ya teman-teman. Supaya bertemu sama si Fragile dan bisa diteleport sama Fragile teman-teman. Kenapa Fragile nggak bisa balik ke sini ya? Karena dia lagi lemah teman-teman.
Sam, The connection's unstable, so I'll keep this short. We have a job for you. Fragile's condition is deteriorating.
Nah, Fragile
If she
kondisinya
slips
lagi
into a
lemah.
coma, there's a chance her soul might become stranded on the beach. She needs cryptobiotes fast.
Oh, cryptobiote.
Luckily for us,
Perlu makan cryptobiote.
Fragile Express keeps a stockpile there in Port North City. So we'd like you to grab some for us while you're in the area. All the details are on the terminal upstairs. Please, Sam. This is
Oh,
critical.
kita suruh mengantar paket berisi cryptobiote buat Fragile, teman-teman ya. Baguslah supaya Fragile nggak ini ya, nggak kenapa-kenapa ya. Dia perlu darah kayaknya. Kebanyakan teleport dia kan, dia menteleport ini ya. Lockne, terus terus si Heartman, habis itu si Deadman, semua diteleport sama dia. Jadi mungkin dia kelelahan, teman-teman. Teleport, habis teleport kita ke beach lagi, dia capek. Cutscene lagi, flashback.
You know what day it is today, baby? Today would be a very special day if your mommy hadn't. You're not born yet. But the more candles, the merrier, right?
Merrier. Merrier itu artinya meriah ya, meriah.
Into the real world. Promise. And then we can have a real party.
Ini sebelum ditangkap kayaknya flashbacknya. Masih aman-aman aja nih. Happy birthday. Selamat ulang tahun ya buat teman-teman yang berulang tahun nih, sekalian nih ngucapin. Kalau kebetulan yang nonton pada ulang tahun ya, selamat ulang tahun ya. Oke. Kita ambil pesanannya dulu. Waduh, sabar. Itu
Check the terminal for
roket
available
launcher,
orders.
simpan dulu tuh. Ini bekas tadi ya, bekas kita melawan Sniper Random tadi ya, masih
Welcome, Sam
di
Porter
tangan.
Bridges.
Oke. $30 kilo, waduh banyak, berarti banyak banget itu ininya cryptobite-nya. Pesta cryptobite ya si Fragile nih.
Don't forget, that container isn't airtight. You can't afford to submerge it,
Jangan direndam.
even partially.
Berarti harus pakai, bawahnya harus pakai ini ya, pakai apa namanya tuh, carrier, supaya nggak bisa masuk ke dalam air, supaya nggak bisa terendam. Dan kita coba naik mobil ya, walaupun kayaknya nggak mungkin pakai mobil. Kita coba aja dah, nggak ada salahnya ya. Oke teman-teman, kayaknya sampai di sini dulu gameplay Death Stranding kita kali ini. Semoga terhibur ya. Dan terima kasih sudah menonton. Dan jangan lupa subscribe-nya dan juga komen, share, dan like. Terima kasih yang sudah bergabung. Sampai berjumpa lagi di next video. Ciao.
Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away with me.